Hey everyone, Psychopath1 here, got a new mask. Today I'm going to be reviewing Stay Alive. Um, Stay Alive is a 2004 movie, written and directed by William Brent Bell and Matthew Peterman. Um, it's about, these, group of gamers, they end up coming across a game called Stay Alive. It's a indie game, and what happens is pretty much the people get killed off one by one. There's a total of I think 6 or 7 deaths, maybe 6. Um, and overall, I thought the film was okay. I like it a lot more than other people do. A lot of people hate this movie. Um, it starts off with this guy played by Milo Ventimiglia. He plays the role of Loomis, and he's sitting there playing Stay Alive, and it starts off really cool. It starts off like an actual video game would, the movie itself, and then it he ends up dying in the game, and it cuts to the real life player played by Milo Ventimiglia, and he's like, and he calls up his friend Hutch, played by John Foster, and they end up having a little conversation about Stay Alive, and he compares it to Fatal Frame, which was one of the inspirations for this game. I mean, movie. And he ends up going upstairs and finding his 2 friends doing it while one of them is wearing a pig mask, and I'm like, that I didn't need to see. It's just shows the pig mask when you see it in the theatrical version. This is the unrated cut, and well worthy of the name unrated, because there's that scene alone is really, really sexual. You wouldn't be able to get away with that in a PG-13 movie. Yes, an R you would, but PG-13, of course, you wouldn't. There's a lot of cursing in this, too. And so, he ends up going to bed. Loomis goes to bed, wakes back up to get a glass of milk, ends up hearing a controller vibrate. And what happens, he ends up figuring out why it's vibrating, and he runs up the stairs, and he finds that his 2 friends have been gutted. One's hanging from the ceiling, the other one, I don't know where it is. And he gets hung, just like he did in the game. Then the opening credits starts. And I think that's a really cool way to open up the movie. I had nothing wrong with the opening. Oh, one thing I didn't like, the jump scare at the beginning. I didn't like the non-sequential jump scare. So, yeah. And so, it's the next day. Hutch, played by John Foster, is talking to his boss Miller about Silent Hill 4, but the thing about it is they're using the name Silent Hill 4, but they're using the description of Silent Hill 1. With the ammo dump trick from Silent Hill 4, you can dump ammo and stuff in an ammo box, but you'll need that ammo in order to kill Walter Sullivan. Spoiler for fans who haven't played Silent Hill 4. But anyways, in the first one, everybody knows you cannot dump the ammo. And if you pick up the Hyper Blaster, you're stuck with it. So yeah, and they call the boss her, which Alessa, or Incubus or Samael, whatever you want to say, in Silent Hill 1. Uh, but yet in Silent Hill 4, it's Walter Sullivan, and the last time I checked, that was a male. So yeah, that was wrong. But at least they tried. At least they had the courtesy to reference one of my all-time favorite games, Silent Hill. And a big reason why they said Silent Hill 4 is because that was the newest one. And so, next thing you know, Hutch is going to a funeral, and he ends up going to Loomis's funeral, and Loomis's sister ends up giving him a whole bunch of Loomis's stuff, and a woman named Abigail, played by Samari Armstrong, she's there taking a picture of Hutch and saying, well, the reason I took a picture was because you seem the saddest, but yet you're not crying. And the camera she's taking pictures with is the same camera from Fatal Frame. It's the camera obscura. A little fun fact there. And so she decides to join Hutch to go over to his place to hang out with his friends. And we end up getting the introduction of Swink, played by Frankie Muniz. I don't like Frankie Muniz in most things, but I liked him in this. He had kind of a quirky, wannabe popular type of kid. Not a wannabe gangster, though. But he was likable in this. And we also get introduced to Phineas, played by Jimmy Simpson. His lines, most of his lines were cut from the theatrical version. So when you see the unrated cut, you hear "fuck this," "holy fucking shit," "fuck that." Like a whole bunch of fucks come from his mouth. And he had some of the best lines in the movie. There's October. We get introduced to the woman named October, played by Sophia Bush. Now most people remember her from The Hitcher. The Hitcher 2007 remake, I want to say. I think it came out in 2007. If it isn't, if it didn't, I'm sorry if I'm wrong. And we are sitting down with this group of people, and they're putting on their headsets. They're about ready to play the game. They're signing in and everything. And what happens is they have to recite a prayer, the prayer of Elizabeth. And I'm just like, well, I could see games, I mean, I know there's voice activated games. Everybody knows that. And I'd like to play the game, but being just as a requirement, like, what if you don't have a microphone? Like, how are you going to play the game? But anyways, it's just a nitpick. And what happens next? They're playing the game, and Phineas says, it's a good game and all, but it kind of moves along at a snail's pace. And then, all of a sudden, you're seeing first-person shooter action left and right, zombie chicks dying left and right. And then, Miller ends up getting killed by the Countess, he gets the shears through the throat, and yeah, and pretty much that's it. He's done for. His character is out of the game, and they decide to call it a night and go to bed and just stop playing the game. And Miller ends up going out of his office, but he doesn't make it that far, and he ends up getting killed by the Countess the same way he died in the game. And the next day, Hutch meets the cops, and pretty much the cops don't believe him. They think he's the one who killed Miller, and I'm just like, what makes you think this guy killed his friend? He's got witnesses that can tell you, hey, he was with us last night. He wasn't here. Hutch was with us. Hutch wasn't anywhere near here when the accident happened. So, yeah. And anyways, we've got this dick, this cop who's a dick, I forget his name. And we've got the nice cop, but they both don't believe him. And so, the body count, I'm not going to go through all the deaths, but probably my favorite death would have to be October's. She gets her neck slit, and then blood starts gushing out of her neck, and she ends up saying, "Go fuck yourself." And I just loved that. I thought that was awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10, the acting, really, really good. The effects, they're okay, I guess. This won't win any awards for effects. The story, it's okay. I've seen better, but I've also seen worse. Scares, not that much. Don't go in this looking for scares, because this isn't a really scary movie. It's just a fun popcorn flick. So anyways, what do I give it? I give it an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought the characters were pretty fun. Each character had their own sort of characteristics that set them apart from each other. And I laughed at Jimmy Simpson's lines. He was really funny. And all the actors did a really good job with what they had to do. So anyways, this is Psychopath1c signing off. Peace out. See you next time.